We get some great suggestions, requests, etc. on the channel. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. Somebody commented, can we hear the difference between your FYM60 and DYM60HDs or Hondurans? Of course, we need no encouragement to do that. So today we're looking at these two great guitars and doing some A-Bing so you can hear the difference between two high-quality instruments, one being an OM, one being a Dread.
It just wants to keep going.
Big strummer.
Big strummer.
Do you know what it... Hi, buddy. I was just going to go into the show there for a second. I forgot the cameras were even on. Never mind. Like the OM and the Dread together, even though I can obviously hear this because it's closer to me, I can hear your stuff going on. And as a pair, they work great.
They've got a great complement, but we've swapped.
Yeah.
Because normally you would gravitate towards the big old piano.
I'm changing, man.
Really?
I think...
You changed.
You changed. You know what? You're not the person you were. I think since we've done a lot of OM stuff, just getting more into OMs. I've got like a room full of Dreadnoughts and I feel comfortable, but I don't know, I'm changing, just getting into it.
What is that though? What is it that draws you towards that? Because these guitars, right, just to be clear, these are Adirondack top and the Honduran back and sides. They're very special, amazing woods, but they're the same, aren't they, spec-wise?
You know, we've talked about this before, like this, you know, I think people sometimes sit down with a guitar, we all strum them, and we're enamored with volume, right?
Yes.
It's like the volume is just like brings us in, or we think guitars are good if they're loud. The more you hang around guitars and question them, look for different things, volume becomes just another thing, more important, maybe to some people less important.
Obviously, I always go back to recorded music and mixing and studio things, monitors and everything else, and volume something happens when people hear something louder. It feels more impressive, feels better. There's something about it, isn't it? When you hear a guitar that's like projects.
You know, you hear so many people say, "Oh, what a cannon!" Right? Which I guess if you're a Dreadnought player, bluegrass player, or a big strummer, you know, want that energy. Of course, it's a cannon. It's a Dreadnought. It's got lots of, or a jumbo, lots of air volume going on. I just think that lots of people strum a guitar and go, "Oh, it's a cannon. It's loud." Bottom end is also we like bottom end really is something that draws us in.
Yes.
But because we've been playing lots of different guitars and especially focus on the OM, there's just like, I don't know, there's something so balanced. You don't get that woof, you know, there's so much bottom end in that guitar.
There's so much everything in this guitar.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? guess the scale length is different. But and what you said a few times is makes you play different stuff. And then we can go back to why do we have these shapes? We've talked about that, like different musical styles, or coming out the parlor, going to the concert. This Dreadnought thing where people are playing bluegrass and they're competing with the volume of a banjo. I feel as though hugging a smaller instrument, it seems a little bit more, I'm going to use the word accurate, because I think you haven't got that so much air volume going on, and I'm just getting into them more, you know?
Yeah, but this is a kind of a, I mean, you know, you're inspired. We've got the story, haven't we? We can put the link to the...
Yeah, the link for the Honduran story. I think history of recorded music influences instruments, and instruments have influenced recorded music. They have a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
And like we've been through before, the reason we have different sizes is because musicians went to Mr. Martin and said, can I have this? Can I have a longer neck? Can I have a louder guitar? All these things. But I think that, you know, different types of folk music or whatever. But I think this instrument, you know, was like inspired by meeting Jack Pearson and making a guitar for him. And we decided to go for an OM with the classic mixer.
Because he actually asked for this particular spec, right?
He talked about what he liked. I thought, that's to me sounds like a classic Adirondack and Honduran. And everything is, you know, back to the history of recorded music, is for acoustic guitar, in the olden days, pre-war and all that, it's this configuration or it's Brazilian.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that much Sitka used, so it was Adirondack a lot. And I think we all gravitate towards that. Same with Strats and Les Pauls or L5s, you know, it's like that old stuff, you know, it's just so entrenched in recorded history, recorded music history, that we think it's our reference point.
Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So we're always looking for a reference point. Except, I think in modern acoustic guitar design, especially for fingerstyle players who are wanting a very responsive instrument, I think some luthiers have moved away from that classic, you know, vintage tone. And they're designing more modern, let's say modern sounding acoustic instruments that we talked about, you know, the Irvin Samojis and people who've studied him or under him, and looking for that more hugely responsive, articulate instrument, which does sound different to classic vintage tones. So, but yeah. So this is actually a VRE.
It is a VRE, which is a viewer requested episode. We have, actually, not just one. I mean, there's been a number of comments about these two guitars in particular. Could we play them side by side, and could we do a little AB? Yeah. You know.
So they're exactly the same bracing, same woods, same shop, same everything, same tuners, same whatever the scale length. This is 25 inches. That's 25 and a half. 635 mil, 648. D's going to do some A and B, and thanks, you know, somebody just said, can we hear the FYM60 versus the DYM60?
And we had the pair of them here, so we thought, let's do it.
Yeah.
But what is interesting is just how different the sound of these two instruments are for being, like Chris has just said, all the same spec, except for the scale length and the shape.
Air volume, man.
Yeah.
It's all about it. And if anybody's got one of these, this guitar we've had here for what, 10, 12 months?
Yes.
And it's really coming alive now, isn't it?
You said to me, take it home, play it in.
Yeah. I think Adirondack does that.
And I did play it a lot, but it has opened up a lot.
It sounds much better than last time I played it.
Yeah.
So anyways, we'll do some A and Bs. Thanks for the questions. If you've got some suggestions or things you want to see, that's great. But we'll put this OM against the Dreadnought.
Yes.
You're going to do some fingerstyle and some strumming?
I'll do a little bit of both, yeah.
And we'll see where we'll get to.
Absolutely.
And if you've got any more questions, please let us know.
And any more things you'd like us to explore, please let us know in the comments. We're always happy to
check things out.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
Guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. If you want to watch more videos like this one, click the video on the screen now.